Shalawam sisters, call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for allowing us to see a new day, to repent, to learn something new. Today's video is, should an Israelite woman consider contraceptives? I was actually going to do this video 2 days ago, but I was studying and writing down precepts and stuff, and I was like, it's not sitting right with me. I don't know if the Most High want me to do it. I felt like I wasn't really in the spirit. And remember, I told you I don't like doing videos just to do it because, I don't know, it don't sit right. So I was like, I'll just go to it later whenever it comes back on my mind or whatever. So a sister actually asked in the group chat today about it. So I was like, oh, well, that's the Most High. So let me just go ahead and finish looking up what I was looking up and, and throw a video up. So here we are. Should an Israelite woman consider contraceptives? I'm going to just be real and upfront and honest about it. And I'm going to go into it. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't consider contraceptives. All right, so we're going to get into it. First and foremost, you got to ask yourself. We got to remember the days are old, okay? Did our righteous foremothers use birth control? No, they didn't. And you can tell by the scriptures that they didn't. Even when you go into the very beginning, if you take it back to the very beginning in Genesis, when Rachel said to Jacob, give me children or else I die. So it was always about giving birth to children and carrying on our husband's seed. She said, or else I die. The same thing goes in Luke, the 1st chapter, when Elizabeth heard the greeting of Mary. John the Baptist leaped in her womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. Elizabeth said to Mary, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. She said, blessed is the fruit of thy womb. So we always wanted to have children. We always knew how important it was to carry children. Even though, Elizabeth said that to Mary because she was carrying Yahushai at the end of the day. But it was always a blessing to carry children, to be able to have children. And when you take those contraceptives, you pretty much telling the Most High that what he said is wrong when he said children are a heritage of the Lord and the fruit of the womb is his reward in Psalms 12:7. So when you considering or taking that birth control, you pretty much saying, well, I see what you say, Most High. You say children are a heritage of the Lord and the fruit of the womb is his reward. But right now, I don't want to deal with it. I got this issue going on and that issue going on. No, the Most High don't want to hear that. What happened to Peter when he seen Yahushua on the water and Yahushua took him by the hand and he was walking on water, and as soon as Peter lost faith, what happened? He drowned. So you can't lose faith when you pray and ask the Most High, whether it is to give you children or whether it is where you feel like in your life it's not the right time for you to have children. You pray and ask the Most High, say, look, I'm not, and even the Most High knows your needs before you even do. So it's some stuff that you don't even really got to say because the Most High already knows. But when you throw a prayer up, and you have to believe in that prayer, like the scriptures say. So like I said, if you feel like you don't have the right time, it's not the right timing, or you feel like you want to have a child, the Most High is going to do whatever he want to do at the end of the day regardless. Okay? And you telling yourself that you going to do what you want to do by taking contraceptives made by the so-called white man, that's kind of going off at the end of the day. And that's following the ways of the heathen. And that was something that we was commanded not to do. All right? And even it says, come out of her, my people, be not partaker of her sins, and receive not her plagues. That's a sin to be on birth control. Because you're doing the opposite of what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai wants. He said be fruitful and multiply. Not add chemicals and hormones to your body, which is witchcraft, to prevent you from having a child. And some women will say, oh, well, I want to get on birth control because I have acne and it helps with my acne. Oh, it helps regulate my periods. It controls my bleeding and stuff. At the end of the day, all of those things that are in those birth control, all those things that are in those birth control pills, They're going to harm you at the end of the day. And we about to get into it. Let me show you. All right, so look, let's look at a brief history of birth control. You know, and look, who's that right there? Look at that. Margaret Sanger. 1916, in the first birth control clinic in the United States. And we already know what she said about so-called blacks. Let's look it up. Shoot, Salaki, obviously she was a racist. Look at her. She's a devil. Planned Parenthood founded on racism, belief in protecting society against the unfit. So she pretty much, I'm trying to find out what she said. So like, yeah, I'm trying to read it. I'm reading what she's saying. And Margaret Sanger, she was in the KKK. She said, we do, here we go, right here. Here's the whole thing. It says, also missing is Sanger's fear of her racist views being exposed, as recorded in a 1939 letter. As recorded in a 1939 letter, we do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, which is exactly what she set out and succeeded in doing. So, and it also says Planned Parenthood is largely the reason why black babies are aborted in America 3 times more often than white babies. And y'all, I hate Planned Parenthood with a passion. I seen Planned Parenthood at a festival, and I went over there and I was talking to the Eve, and I was like, you know, what are you doing working here? I was breaking down the statistics to her. Y'all, she was like, okay, have a good day. And she like blew me a kiss and was being wicked. And I was like, I kind of wanted to get a little whirly. She almost took me off the spear for real. I was about ready to throw hands. Like, I wanted to be like, don't get it twisted by the fringes and the hair wrap. All right. That's what I wanted to say, to keep it real. She was about to take me back. All right. And that's how I knew it. Planned Parenthood ain't nothing but a bunch of spirits and wickedness. And look, all they deal with is trying to exterminate the black baby. And at the end of the day, they promote birth control and contraceptives and abortions. All right. And that's what Margaret Sanger did. She had the first birth control clinic in the United States in 1916. Look at her. This is Psalms. What's that Psalms verse? Crafty counsel against thy people. They consult against the hidden ones. This is what they're doing, sitting down having a crafty counsel on how they can kill and get rid of all of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what they're doing. Looking like a bunch of witches. And what was they doing? Giving out birth control. Saying that you can get an abortion. Now you don't even really got to think too much into it and say, well, that should automatically not sit right with your spirit and say, I shouldn't even be on birth control and I don't need it. So it says in 1515, women were mixing dates and honey into a paste and smear it over wool and use it as contraception to prevent conception. That's weird. Why would you do that? Why would you put wool inside of you? In the 1700s, Casanova pretty much experimented with birth control from sheep bladder, condoms to use. I remember hearing about that in school. Condoms to the use of half a lemon as a makeshift cervical cap. That sounds off. That sounds like a heathen custom, don't it? 1839, Charles Goodyear invents the technology to vulcanize rubber and puts it into use in manufacturing rubber condoms. What does that sound like? To y'all? That sounds like a bunch of witchcraft. I'm reading as I go. So if I'm quiet, it's because I'm reading. In the 1880s, a large cervical cap is developed, an early version of the diaphragm. 1916, Margaret Sanger opens the first family planning clinic in Brooklyn, and is shut down within 10 days. Then, look, she was persistent. All right, 1916, she opened up the first family planning clinic. Then it shut down in 10 days. And she said, you know what? I'm coming back even stronger. 1921, it says Sanger founded the American Birth Control League, which later became the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Wickedness. Let's see. 1960, the FDA announces its approval of birth control pills. Almost 500,000 American women are already taking it for therapeutic purposes. Sounds like witchcraft to me. Let's see. Let's go in 2010. A new study of 4,600,000 women conducted over 40 years found that women on the pill live longer and are less likely to die prematurely of all causes, including cancer and heart disease. Some 100 million women around the world use the pill. Okay, I believe that all those women use the pill, but I'm not going to say that they live longer, because you got to really look what's inside that pill. And first of all, let's look at who invented it. Look at this guy. Look, he was a chemist sitting in the lab mixing up potions. Look at them. What does this look like? Does this look like it's uttermost high to y'all? Look at him. Look at Esau. This is witchcraft. That's exactly what birth control is. His name was Carl. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Carl, I'm not even going to say it, y'all, because I know I'm not going to know how to pronounce it. De Gerasi leaves many legacies besides the contraceptive pill. That's witchcraft. You shouldn't even want to take nothing that's made. You don't even want to eat food that's made in a lab, right? So you shouldn't even, if you don't let your kids get vaccines, then those are made in a lab as well. You shouldn't even want to take birth control pills because that's made in a lab. That's witchcraft. He's wicked. Let's look it up. Let's look this up right quick. So this says the chemistry of the pill. And it says, y'all, I'm so bad at pronouncing these words. Norethindrone is a molecule that made Carl famous in 1951. The chemist who died in January of the age of 91, and his team synthesized a compound which would synthesize the compound. That's chemistry. So therefore, that's witchcraft, which will become a key ingredient into birth control pills. So first of all, let's look up what norethindrone is. Let's look that up. All right, it has side effects, nausea. With anything that's made in a lab, any chemical is going to give you, or hormone is going to give you side effects. If it's not being a hormone that's not being naturally made in your body, and you want to add other hormones to your body, you don't want to eat no animal with extra hormones added to it. So why would you want to put extra hormone in your body? So that causes nausea, vomiting, headache, bloating, breast tenderness, weight gain may occur, vaginal bleeding between periods. So you could try to take birth control and a contraceptive thinking that it's going to help you stop bleeding, But the Most High could be like, no, you going to bleed some more because you didn't put your trust in me. And you put your trust in man. And even like it says, woe to them that go down and put their trust in Egypt. Don't put your trust in Babylon. Don't put your trust in the so-called white man or these other nations. Woe to you if you do that. You got to put your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Talking about if any of these effects persist or worsen, tell your doctor or pharmacist promptly. What they going to do for you? Nothing. And you're going to be sitting at home like, damn, I should have never took that. So oh, and it also says that remember that your doctor has prescribed this medication because he or she has judged that the benefit to you is greater than the risk of side effects. And how are they supposed to know that? Everybody's body chemistry is different. Every woman is different at the end of the day. Just like every child is different. So to give every child the same vaccine is off. It doesn't make any sense. So to give every woman a same birth control that's manufactured in the lab, whether it be the birth control shot, whether it be orthotricycline or orthotricycline low, and we're going to get into that. It may not be right for your body. Your doctor don't know you like the Most High know you. You know what I mean? And it says this medication may raise your blood pressure. All right? Tell your doctor right away if you have any serious side effects, including lumps in the breast, mental mood changes such as new or worsening depression. If you taking a pill and it gives you depression, you got to think spiritually. And it's truth. The scriptures say if you're spiritual, you're going to judge all things. We're a spiritual people. So if you get depressed while taking a birth control pill, you got to really ask yourself, what the hell is going on? You got something messing up the chemistry in your brain and you feeling sad and down and out. Let me tell y'all, when I was on, and let me tell y'all where I went. When I was in the world, I went to Planned Parenthood. And I was like, let me try something different. I was on orthotricycline before. And I stopped taking birth control. Then I got back on it. And because I was in a relationship, I was working. I didn't want to get pregnant. I was being worldly. I didn't want to get pregnant. So I went to Planned Parenthood and I got orthotricycline low. And I think I ended up getting it for free too. That's how you know. Why would they give you something that's for free? You know what I mean? It may have not been for free, but I think it was. But I ended up getting orthotricycline low. And I remember I was in my apartment by myself and I was laying down. And I'm just crying. Like I'm literally, like my body, I'm literally laying in my bed, like just crying uncontrollably. But I felt fine. And I'm texting my friend Takia and I'm like, look, something is wrong with me. I don't know what's going on. I think it's this birth control I'm taking because ever since I've been taking it, I've been tripping. Like I'm sitting down in my room crying, but I'm telling you, I feel fine. I don't know why I'm crying. And it was just ridiculous. And I'm like, I got to stop taking it. So once I stopped taking it, once I stopped taking the birth control, I started to feel better. And looking back on that situation spiritually, that birth control put a spirit on me. That's a spirit at the end of the day. Because it was made and concocted in a lab where they do witchcraft and they saying, we're going to put this hormone with this hormone and we're going to mix this in there and we're going to add a little bit of this, even though nobody knows what this is. This should shorten the lives of them. You know, they don't want us to live long. Talking about if you take birth control, study shows that the women live longer. How in the hell does that even make sense? You taking a chemical and it's going to make you live longer. That doesn't make any sense. They be lying to people. I probably would have, Lord knows what would have happened to me if I would have stayed on that damn medicine. And the Most High didn't put it in my spirit to say, look, this is not working out. Ever since then, I've never been on birth control again. I was like, I can't do it. That scared me, sitting down in my room crying like that. You know what I mean? That's pretty sick. And you see it says such as new or worsening depression, severe stomach, abdominal pain, unusual changes in vaginal bleeding, such as continuous spotting, sudden heavy bleeding. See, you could be taking this because you don't want to bleed. The Most High could say, no, you are going to bleed. Because it says sudden heavy bleeding, vaginal bleeding, missed periods, dark urine, yellow in eyes and the skin. People going to be walking around thinking you got jaundice, looking sick. This medication may rarely cause serious, sometimes fatal. Now, it would be a horrible judgment for you to go ahead and still say, I'm going to still take birth control, when you see that it says that it could be sometimes fatal. And the Most High could judge you and say, you seen that it said that you shouldn't be taking this because it's fatal. It can do all these symptoms, this and the third. And you say, I'm going to do it anyway. Most High could put you to death. You can have a problem from blood clots. Look at this. Heart attack, pulmonary embolism. Like, what is this? Unusual headaches, including headaches with vision changes. You might wake up blind the next day. You don't know what you're taking. Lack of coordination, worsening the migraines, sweating, weakness on one side of the body. What in the hell? Look, y'all, trouble breathing. Look, itching and swelling of the face, the tongue, and the throat. Whew. And look, it says this is not a complete list of possible side effects. If you notice other effects not listed above, contact your doctor or pharmacist. And let's say you contact your doctor or pharmacist, and what they gonna do for you? Like the Most High can do for you? Nothing. What they gonna do for you? Tell you to take something else? Give you another pill? Oh, well, since the shot didn't work, well, let's do the patch. What are you, a guinea pig? No, you a daughter of Zion. You supposed to be trusting in the Most High. You're not a rat in some lab in a damn cage where they just experiment. And let me tell you, when something happened to you, when you go back to your doctors and say, look, this didn't work, they take note of that. And they got to send that back in and say, look, this is what it's doing to these people at the end of the day. And they're going to try to figure out how they can make it worse, not make it better. Since when does big pharmacy care about your health at the end of the day? They don't. They just want to make money off of you and try to kill you at the end of the day. All right, and so the name of this drug that this so-called white man came up with, concocted, is northindrone. That's what we're going to say. If you look, I don't know how to pronounce it, keeping it real. Northindrone. All right? And his name is Carl, an Australian-born American chemist, novelist, playwright, co-founder. All right, who cares about all of that? But he's the father of the pill. That's pure wickedness. Look at this man. Like I said, y'all, you seen him sitting in that lab concocting all that stuff. It was wizards and witches in the ancient world. We still got that going on today. Let's look up what is witchcraft. All right, it says, witchcraft is a magical manipulation of energy to bring about change. The energy used by a witch may be environmental, from herbs, stones. Oh, okay, but look. It says modern witchcraft. Many men and women consider themselves witches today. The witchcraft these people practice varies widely and may be for spiritual expression of any variety of religions. Let's see. It comes in several forms. They do rituals. So they focus on energy, send it out. This man was a warlock. Because at the end of the day, it says witchcraft is a wonderful way to release stress and to help an individual feel that he or she has some control over an otherwise controllable situation. Salakia, look, let's read this one more time. Witchcraft is a wonderful way to release stress and to help an individual feel that he or she has some control over an otherwise uncontrollable situation. So what does that sound like? That sounds like that dude is putting out birth control. Birth control is giving you control over when you can get pregnant, and when that's supposed to be an uncontrollable situation. Because at the end of the day, that's up to the Most High. That's witchcraft, and there you go right here. That's showing you that getting on birth control and taking contraceptives is witchcraft. And literally, I just found this page, even though it's whatever, Witchpedia, but it's showing you that when they be in that lab mixing up all of that stuff, telling you, here, you can have control over when your period comes. You can have control over when you want a baby. No, you're not the Most High. That's what the Most High do, what he want to do. You should know that by now. The Most High do. If the Most High want to give you a baby, he'll give you a baby. If the Most High don't want you to have a baby, he don't want you to have a baby right now. If the Most High gonna want you to bleed for a certain amount of time, he gonna want to see if you gonna pray and fast, and he gonna want to see if you gonna have enough faith to believe that he can help heal you. So whatever you got going on, don't take birth control to try to control a situation that's uncontrollable. That's witchcraft. All right? Look, I'm getting a little passionate about this because I don't like that. I don't like witchcraft. I don't like birth control. That, is wicked. I can't. It gives me a headache just thinking about it. All right? So we already seen that's witchcraft. Look, and I wrote down notes. I'm just going through the spirit. I'm supposed to be going through. Look, I'm supposed to be going through my notes. All right, let me look at my notes. All right, so look, they got different types of birth control. Let's look them up. So you can't be like, well, I don't know. I think I could take this because it's not going in my body. It's just going on my body. No, it's all the same. So we're going to look up the different types of birth control. Here, they should have a whole bunch of... All right, you got the combination pill. All right. The combination pill is either like the ortho-tricycline low or the regular ortho-tricycline. You got the IUD. Let's look. All right. Well, with the combination pill, we already looked up the side effects of that. That's a no-go. All right. Don't do it. It's just don't do it. So we already looked up that. Let's look up the IUD. All right. Let's look up that. Because I remember hearing stories about this. Look at this. Mom loses ovaries. She lost her uterus and her toes after the IUD ended up in her stomach. Who did that? Who did that to her? Yeah, how about Shimmy Hawashai did? Why? For a prime example to show you to stop using this. It happened to a Eve too. Stop using this stuff. And you would literally have to be a foolish woman to see this and say, I'm still go get it. Look, all right, it's not going to happen to me, though. No, you don't know that. Look at her sitting in the hospital. She looks sick. She can't have kids no more because she done lost her uterus, her ovaries. She can't get her toes done no more. The IUD ended up in her stomach. What is she going to do? She don't have no toes, y'all. And she was only 25. A 25-year-old woman who lost her ovaries, uterus, and toes after her IUD forced its way up into her stomach and migrated to her liver? Who did that? The Most High did that. The Most High forced that IUD up her stomach and migrated it over to her liver. She's, look, there you go. Said her faith in God has helped her recover. Dang. That's crazy. She says, sometimes things happen in your life and you don't know why. Tania Smith of Baltimore. Oh, she in Baltimore. I'm in Baltimore too. Tania Smith of Baltimore, Maryland wrote on a GoFundMe page, "You question yourself, why me, or what did I do to deserve this? But what you should be asking is, what can I learn from it?" So what can you learn from it? This is all of the spirit. I'm trying to tell y'all. This is of the spirit. She said, but what you should be asking, what can you learn from this? You learn that you shouldn't, that the Most High is telling you that you don't need to be putting that stuff in your body to try to control an uncontrollable situation. That's like trying to be like the Most High. But what you should be asking is, what can I learn from it? I'm finally coming out to tell my story because I feel like I can help someone. All right. Smith said she was offered birth control 6 weeks after her daughter's 2014 birth. And I just want to say, that's what they do. These doctors always want to say, oh, so what do you want to do after you have this baby? Do you want to get on birth control? They have everything set up right there. They'll give you the shot. They give you whatever you need. Say, how you going to try to get somebody a hormone right after they give birth? And you got to nurse your baby. I don't care what birth control they give you. You should not be taking no birth control and feeding your baby. And you wonder why your baby delayed, don't know how to do his ABCs, don't know how to count up to 5. Because your baby, or walking late, because you feeding your baby a chemical, because you got a chemical in your body. So anyway, it says, Smith says she was offered birth control 6 weeks after her daughter's 2014 birth. She said that she was told it would work for 5 years. How in the hell are they going to tell her, like they think they the Most High? That's how you know it's all witchcraft. They think that they the Most High are going to tell her that it's going to work up to 5 years. You don't know that. But at an annual checkup with a new gynecologist in October 2017, she allegedly learned that there was potentially an issue. And the gynecologist, whom she did not name in her post, could not find the IUD and allegedly sent her for 2 ultrasounds. Smith said the scans did not show the IUD. Do you know how sick that is? You get an IUD to prevent you being pregnant because you don't want to be pregnant because you feel like you can't take care of kids, whatever issue it is that you take your birth control. And then you find out that the doctor can't find it. She probably went home and was sick to her stomach. Look, here she go right here. Look, do not let this be you. That's sad. She don't got no toes. That's sick. One day in the beginning of November, I was at work. I began to have a hard, sharp pain in the bottom right side of my stomach. And the first thing that popped in my head was, is this the IUID? I'm so lucky. The IUD? She wrote, adding that she took herself to the emergency room when it worsened. Smith said that she was taken for an x-ray, which showed that her IUD had wound up in her stomach. She said, I went and talked with my OBGYN, told him everything that was going on, and even showed him the x-ray picture that they allowed me to take, she wrote. So he said I had to get a surgery. So I asked him how would they have to get it out, and he told me they would cut me right under my belly button and use a scope. Smith claims that when she woke up from the December 13th procedure, she noticed that she was cut 3 times and that she was told that the IUID broke into... Look, if this not the Most High, I don't know what else is. The IUID broke into 3 pieces. Hold on. Oh, Salakia, not 3. It says the IUID broke into pieces and had traveled to her liver. She claims she was released from the hospital despite the fact that she was bleeding, but had to be rushed back overnight. She said, I was bleeding internally, Smith said. After the surgery, my mom was told that when they opened me up, my ovaries was black and that they had to give me a hysterectomy. After the surgery, I went to septic shock septic shock, causing me to be in the ICU for a few weeks. Smith said her organs began to fail. Oh my God, it's just sad. And she was placed on a ventilator. She said, at the time, I didn't know what was going on or what would happen, Smith wrote in the essay, which was published in Women's Health. She said, I was convinced I wouldn't make it and that I would die. Dang, that's sad. But it's all the Most High's mercy and grace that she even alive. She said she spent weeks away from her daughter because she didn't want the medical equipment to scare her and lost feeling in her hands and feet. At the end of my 3rd week in the hospital, sensation returned to my hands while my toes began to blacken from necrosis, tissue death due to the loss of the blood flow, she wrote. On February 2nd, almost 2 months after my first surgery, I was finally discharged with a prognosis that hung over me for months. When I felt ready, I need to return for the removal of all my toes on my left foot and the tips of my right toes. Smith had her toes removed in early May. She said she hasn't been able to return to school or either of her part-time jobs. She said she was told that either the IUID was put in too soon after childbirth and the healing of her uterus pushed it up, or the tightening of her muscles during each menstrual cycle forced the device upward. No, how about Shimmy Hawashai forced that device to go into her liver and for all of this to happen, to be a prime example of why his daughter Zion should not be getting on birth control. There you go. That's sad that happened to her. Lord willing, she repent and, she get into the truth or is in the truth. All right, so that was the IUID right there. I keep saying IUID. It's the to be looking. All right, male condom. That's weird. Remember, we already read in the beginning that the man figured out how to melt rubber to make a male condom. That's weird. Who does that? Emergency contraception is a Plan B pill, which nobody should be taking at the end of the day. How you going to tell the Most High? What if the Most High planted, getting ready to have the sperm go up and meet the egg, and you say, no, not today? No, that's wicked. Cervical cap, that's weird. Like, all of this stuff is weird, and you even got the shot. Some of the stuff they don't have on here, but they even have birth control sponge, the injection shot, the patch. All of it is a no. An implant, no. And look, I think I seen this. Hold on. Look at this. Where is that? Look at this right here. Baby born with IUID. So why do I keep saying that? IUD contraception stuck in here like a bobby pin. Who did that? The Most High did. At the end of the day, the Most High can say, forget your birth control. Forget what you thought you could be in control of. The Most High still let that woman get pregnant and have a baby. The Most High going to do what he want to do regardless. The Most High made the earth in in 7 days. What makes you think that the Most High can't say, forget that, what you think you putting in your system? He could do whatever he want to do. He could say, forget what you think is going to happen. This is what I want to happen. That's why at the end of the day, you should always be saying, Lord willing, because it's always going to be the Most High will. You can't do nothing to control nothing. And you taking birth control is saying that you in control of when you want to give birth, or you in control of whatever problems, happen to your body. You in control of, to whatever reason, why you want to take birth control. And you're not in control of that. And if you feel like you should have enough faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that he'll help you in whatever situation you're going through. Whether it be you feel like you're not ready for another child, whether it be, you have health issues after you give a child and you feel like you want to get on a birth control, the Most High will be there for you. Didn't he say, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be open? And everyone that asks shall receive. So you have to have faith in his word. And when you lose faith, you lose the Most High. Faith without works is dead, like Paul said. You got to remember the precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. And you got to meditate on the word. You really got to sit and meditate on it. These are, like I always like to say, these things were written aforetime for our learning, that we through patience have hope. So you have to have faith that the Most High is going to help you. After I had my son, My mom was like, oh, you gotta get on birth control, because let me tell you something. If you can't take care of that son, she was just pretty much saying that, how we gonna take care, when we had my son, we was in a 1-bedroom apartment. Well, how you gonna take care of your son, and then y'all only in a 1-bedroom apartment, and y'all better not have no other baby. And I'm like, look, you don't know what the Most High can do for us. You don't know what the Most High can do. I'm like, it goes, what she said went in one ear and out the other. Because at the end of the day, I always had faith that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai was going, like I asked him, I said, and like I said to my husband, I said, if the Most High whenever he wants us to have a baby next, that's when he wants us to have a baby next. That's just how it's going to be. I'm not getting on birth control. It didn't sit right with my spirit. Then we had my daughter. Most High blessed us to have a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. So all of that went out the window. And you gotta have faith. All that you might not be able. What about this? All that work. I'm worried for what? Don't the Most High always say He's gonna take care of His servants? Even to the very last days, behold, my servant shall eat. Didn't Yahweh Shai say, take no thought of your life? Take no thought of tomorrow? Today already got enough evil within itself. What you going to think about tomorrow for? What you going to think about what's going to happen to you tomorrow for? For what? You should know that the Most High going to sustain you when you keeping the commandments and you doing the right thing and you fearing Him. We got to remember the days of old and be like our foremothers. And we got to have faith. And what Proverbs 31 say? It don't say that. And it don't say she girded her loins with strength for no reason. It says that in there because it's letting you know that you got to gird yourself up with strength. You got to gird yourself up with the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. When He tell you to have faith, you got to have faith. And you got to believe in what you pray for. If you pray into the Most High that you want to have a child, you better believe that it's going to happen. Don't be like how Peter was about to drown because he lost faith. Don't be that Israelite woman. What happened to Hannah? Was it Hannah? What happened to Hannah when she couldn't conceive Samuel? She had faith that the Most High would give her a baby. She said, look, I'll give him over to you. Just let me have a child. That's how you know our Israelite women wasn't practicing no contraceptive. We beg to have children. You know what an honor and blessing it is to be able to bring up a child in the truth in this wicked world? And then you got to look back and say, look, let me go back to the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. In Ecclesiastes 38:4, it says, the Lord created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So let's say you have a problem with the issue of blood. You know what you got to do then? You got to do some research. You going to look up. I looked up fennel. Hold on, let's look up plants. So like we're gonna look up plants. I'm typing on fast. Plants that help with bleeding. And these will help you in the healing process. Hold on. That's not what I... And if you're a wise woman, you're not going to abhor these plants because the Most High made medicines out of the earth for a reason. Let's see. goldenrod. It says that, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can look it up on your own. It says, however, it's also been used for bleeding issues. Calendula, it says that it treats ulcers, menstrual cramps, and skin problems. All right, so people take birth control to stop menstrual cramps and skin problems because they have acne. It says it's a popular supplement for for wound care. If you wound yourself, it's effective in combating viruses and bacteria. Look, the Most High made that for a reason. Treats ulcers. So what you need birth control for when you got these plants right here that can help you? Goldenrod. It helps with healing. So after you have a baby, you can look up some of the stuff that's what's safe. I'm not going to get all into that right now because I already made this video so long. Salakia, y'all. But you can look up stuff that can help you even after you have a baby. Or you can look up plants that helps you with fertility. I've been looking into stuff like that. You can look up, the Most High have plants for everything. But at the end of the day, I wish I could remember the scripture, but I think it was a brother, I think he was sick. Something happened to him, and he went to the doctors first before going to the Most High, and I think the Most High put him to death. So, like I said, everything was written aforetime for our learning. So you got to go to them and seek the Most High first before you even think about taking these plants for medicine. Anything made in a pharmacy that's telling you can control an uncontrollable situation like you the Most High, no. You got to have faith that the medicines that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai made, but you also have to have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai at the end of the day. If you don't have faith, you don't have nothing. All right, so you got fennel, ginger. Let me look it up again. I was looking it up early, but you got fennel, ginger, goldenrod, yarrow, calendula. You got to look these plants up. Horsetail, plantain, rose. It's so much stuff that you can do. It's even smart to look up, wild medicinal flowers. Like, you gotta do your research. Here you go, right here. Herbs to stop bleeding. There's yarrow again. Look, here's a list of herbs. Butternut, cayenne pepper, horsetail, lotus, oak bark, plantain, red root. Look at all of this stuff. Witch hazel, yarrow. You got to really look up all this stuff. When you sick or you got something going on with your body, you got to pray to the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You got to have faith that the Most High answer your prayers and heal you. What happened to that woman when she was diseased with the issue of blood for 12 years? Remember, she touched the hem of Yahushai's garment, and the hem was his fringes. And she said, if I touch his garment, I shall be whole. So she had faith that if she even touched Yahushai's garment, that he was going to heal her of her issue of blood for 12 years. That's how much faith she had. Yahushai, remember, he turned around and said, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith make thee whole. So her faith made her whole. And she had an issue with blood. Women, that's a common issue with women, especially in the Israelite community. Because, at one point we was putting those relaxers in our hair, and, them relaxers link up to thyroid problems and all that stuff. And the Most High, throw them curses down. So, that's an issue that we have with, in a Israelite community, so-called black community, where is excessive bleeding. You got to look up stuff that's going to help you, and you got to have faith like that woman did in Matthew the 9th chapter. Okay? And that's that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Do not feel pressured. Like I said, the question says, should an Israelite woman consider contraceptives? No, you should never consider contraceptives. Why? Because you should let Yahweh Shem Shai be in control of your life. And you should always have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai to the day that you die. No matter what situation you in. You should always have faith in him. That he's going to let you have a baby when he wants you to. That he's going to make you have a... that's why we always say, like I said, Lord willing. That he's going to heal you in whatever issue that you have. That he's going to allow you to have a safe pregnancy. All right, understand that. You got to have faith. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel pressure. Look, she in here sweating. She's sweating right here. The doctor talking to her. Look like an Edomite or something. She in there sweating on the doctor's office. There they go. They're going to try to pressure you saying, oh, well. And you know, when you tell Esau that you want to have kids and stuff, they can't. They're like, oh, you want to have kids? Like, I thought you niggers were getting abortions. Kids, what is that? What is that? Kids for what? They're dying anyway. That's what they think. So of course they're going to be confounded when you tell them, look, I don't want to get on birth control. I don't want no contraceptives. I don't want these condoms that you're going to give me in a goodie bag. No. Don't feel pressured by Esau, which is the damn devil, to tell you what you need to do with your body. Pressure you to get an IUD, pressure you to get a patch, a shot. No, Esau don't know nothing. Dang, we just taught them how to wash their butt. All right, they don't know how to do nothing but be evil. All right, so look, don't feel pressured when you sit in the doctor's office and they telling you what you got to do for your body, like they the Most High, like they know you. They know what's best for you. Only the Most High knows what's best for you. He made you while you was in your mother's womb. Understand that. Don't feel pressured by these losers, these loser doctors. All they want is your money at the end of the day. So anyway, with that being said, that's the video. Should you take contraceptives? No, you should not. Absolutely not. It's not the Most High. It's just simply not. Hopefully, y'all got a good understanding in that topic. If you have any questions, drop a comment. I'm sorry this video was so long, but it had to get brought out. All right. Thawadah for watching my videos, and may Yahweh Shem Shai continue to look over y'all and protect y'all from the hand of all that hate y'all. And don't give your mind over to heaviness. And if you have an issue, you got to have faith that the Most High is going to deliver you out of any issue that you have. Like I said before. All right, Shalawam. Love y'all.